Alright, ladies and gentlemen. I know most of you probably already know this, but I'm just going to go over it with everyone really quick. So, you've got the most important calls. In here is tires, or as some people call it, workshop. Tires. Above tires is apartments. And then across from apartments is balcony. This is balcony. And down beneath balcony is garage, and people call this diner. And those are the four callouts that everyone uses. Those are the most important callouts for anyone to know. Balcony, which is above me, garage, diner, or 5 actually, whatever. And then apartments and tires. Alright. Now moving to others, you have cubby. Now this spot is very important to call because if you're playing in apartments or you're playing in tires and someone dies in apartments, he might come out cubby. So it's important that you have a call out for that. So cubby is probably the next most important call. So then we got some other specific calls here. We call this red van. I know it looks orange, but we just call it red van. Okay. And then we have people get a little specific here on what they want to call things. This barrel right here, some people call it Kiba barrel or gay barrel, because one player named Kiba used to play this spot all the time. So gay barrel, Kiba barrel is next to cubby. Some people call this porch. Some people call the other side porch. So this is usually dark window or balcony window. We usually call it balcony window that overlooks balcony. We call this right here Barber Alley. Why? Because usually there's a guy sitting here like this watching the exits. Alright. Now, just to recap really quick. The most important ones: tires, and above tires is apartments. On across the way is balcony, and below balcony is diner slash garage. Okay. Then you got cubby, gay barrel, balcony window, red van, and you have Barber Alley over here. Okay. Now, going further, we call this. Where'd I go? I got lost. There we go. So looking on the balcony, we call this hole, and you'll say, "Oh, he dropped hole," which probably means he's going into A. Going to A. All right. And why red van's important is because if they call someone's dropping hole, then red van should shift over and watch his flank. Now, super specific calls that we have on B. Okay. All right. So the left side, or this top half right here, 1, 2, 3. These are T, and these bottom 3 are S. Okay. So these are T, and we number from T arches. Okay. So it'll be T1, T2, T3. All super common spots where people camp behind to capture. So this is called T2. Everyone camps here. Boom. Everyone camps right here, waiting for that guy to come out of arches. It's a common spot. You can wall bang these. So usually a guy balcony Well, you know, if so he gets a call out, like say one of his teammates rushes into B and he dies, he's like, oh, I'm dead on B, he's T2. You know, he'll come here and spray through and try to wallbang him, right? So we got T1, T2, T3, all right? T3 is usually played like this. They'll come up here and go prone and try to watch over here, right? The area of cap is conveniently situated right on top of the little rafters. So that is the cap zone. This cube is the cap zone. So if you're underneath the rafters, you will be capping. Alright. So these bottom ones are S. And it's a little bit, it's the same labeling, but it goes S1, S2, S3. Alright. Not really big on those callouts, just because people don't play them usually, except for S1. Why? Because if people are rushing through diner, say I'm on security, I know I have an insurgent gun, but say I'm on security, I'm rushing, I slide in, go prone, now I'm capping. Okay. Oh, where's he at? Oh, he's at S1. Okay. Now I'm on insurgent, I'm in apartments, I've got an AK, because AK has better penetration, I'm gonna wallbang through there and look S1. You gotta watch out for balcony. Alright, so T1, T2, T1, T2, T3, S1, S2, S3. Usually we say their arches or our arches. So like if we're on insurgents, our arches, this is our arches, their arches is across the way. Right here. You can say S arches or T arches. It's just your preference. I find that most people when they play say their arches or our arches. So that is the basic callouts. Remember cubby, please. This cubby callout is super important. Alright. Because on cubby they're gonna camp in this little nook right here and they'll just wait. So cubby is an important call. As far as loadouts go, one second. Obviously you should be playing with AP. I always take a nade and a smoke. Some people take flashes. So everyone got the callouts, yeah? I think most of you already know them. But so let's go over. Do you guys have any questions? I'm just gonna probably go over strategies that are usually used.
Yeah, that's good.
Cool. All right, now to the more fun stuff. So what I like about District is that it's super game sense oriented. You know, if one guy drops here and you kill a guy here, the enemy is gonna probably rotate a certain way, and you should rotate a certain way. And like you have a couple different options, and depending on what you know about the enemy and how they've been playing, you can kind of figure out what they're gonna do in a certain situation. So it's a lot of like analytical work while you're playing on District to know what people will do. You know, are they a team that rushes B all the time, okay? Or are they someone who camps? Do they double stack a lot? You know, do they like to drop a guy whole? Do they send two to garage? You know, or do they play tires up close, or do they play far away tires? You know, and you know, do they use smokes? Are they using mollies? You know, are they sniping? You know, and on every map you kind of have to use that to your advantage. But I feel like on District, there's so many options and different little strategies and minute details that if you pick up on them, you can really outsmart your enemy and outmaneuver them. Hold on one second. Yeah, in TeamSpeak. Shit, someone wants the TeamSpeak. 1 second. All right. think someone else is coming in here. 1 second. All right. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. So I'll go over C and A callouts as well, really quick. So on C, most people don't have these, but there are 3 corners that everyone usually plays. Okay, there's this one. We call this gay corner. Right there. Oh, whoa, hold on, Rain. I'll give you permission. Rain, if you come in, just make sure you go spectate. That's gay corner. The other one is dark corner. And then mop corner. Those are the 3 spots that usually everyone plays they feel safest in. Sometimes people will change it up and camp in this corner or this corner, but that's usually what they do. And then, you know, when you're coming in off the spawn, you know, you're going to check here, look for that guy, then you're going to look mop corner, then right here. And a sweeping motion. The best spot to play is right here. Because you're going to listen to your footsteps on your left, and your left is going to be your weakest point. But you can look straight ahead and see if a guy is coming through that crack. If someone comes to your right, you can snap him. And if they step on C with you, you know he's over here. So you'll have to flick to your right a little bit, and if you're using a higher FOV, it might help you in here. You know, if you want to play down right here. You know, and just kind of flick over and shoot him as he comes. But that's typically how a lot of people will play it. Alright? You don't ever want to camp in the middle of an objective. What we see a lot of new players do is, you know, they'll come into C and they'll just go prone behind this counter. You're fucked. Because there's so many different angles and ways for people to come that you can't guard them all. Like, why don't put yourself in a stressful situation. Another place where you shouldn't cap, you know, just by rule of thumb, is you definitely want to play T2. It's a really good spot. You don't want to come out here into the middle. Because you got, you know, say I'm on Insurgent. I've got balcony to worry about, diner. I mean, he could come out here. You know, this guy, I can't see the guy rushing mid anymore. So what if he hops on B, and then now I'm trying to play 1v1 on this guy, and then all of a sudden diner kills me. You know, you don't. What you want to do is not put yourself in stressful positions. You want to play a polar end of an objective. Okay, so that way you only have to really worry about one direction. Okay, on A, you know, usually we just call it dark room, which is right here, and I call this fridge, this spot fridge, even though there's no fridge here, but I just call it fridge because these are fridges. So I call this fridge, and this is cashier. Some people camp right behind here. Again, not a good spot. I mean, maybe. You know, if you have to end up, if you end up there, you end up there. But I wouldn't start there. This is dark room. This is typically something people will play. Try to get that easy pick coming down there and then rotate. This is just back room. We don't really have a call here. Some people do. You know, you could call this, you know, whatever you want. Yeah. So, just like back room or something. But those are specific. But apartments, balcony, garage, diner, and tires. Those are your bread and butter. Cubby, you know, is important too. Knowledge is power in this game. You know, a lot of people are good at aiming, but if you have good callouts, you know how many people are alive. You know where you can push, and that knowledge is power. And that's what separates good, like the good teams from the really good teams. Is keeping those comms good. So that is all the callouts pretty much that we have for district. So let's go over strats. So on district, a common thing to do is to play one in each lane. So you would play, you know, one in garage, one in balcony, one on B, one in apartments, and one in tires. Okay, it's a pretty standard setup that most people will do when they start out, until they start, you know, doing other things. All right. Now, there are better ways of doing this for Insurgent. Um, you know, so I'll just go over each point really quick and teach you like the halfway points. So pretty much for Insurgents, if you're running tires, you want to take an AK, all right? So you can pierce this crate right here. So you'll take an AK with AP rounds. You don't want to shoot this dolly right here because it's impenetrable and it's got a huge hitbox as well. So you won't be able to shoot anyone there, and it's kind of bugged, and it's been here for a while, but you can't shoot through it. So what happens is this person has the advantage here if you're aiming at his head, but if you're aiming at the box, you're going to hit him. So usually what will happen here, you know, is I'm on Insurgents, I have an AK, blah blah blah, AKM. I run here, I go prone, I shoot through the box. Now I have an AKS-74U right now. Even with AP, it's not going to go through this crate. All right. So the halfway point is basically as fast as you can get here. If he is rushing this area, he will get right there on that box. So right when you pop around this corner, you got to spray that crate. Give yourself a little time, especially if someone's going to be rushing B through here. And that's like the midway point. So right when you can see this, you're probably going to be fighting a guy if he's rushing, but not everyone rushes. All right. To push out, you got to be really careful. I mean, there's a red truck. He has the advantage. There's red van, white truck. There's all these little spots here. So be careful if you want to push tires as Insurgents. Now, on apartments is better for Insurgents via the timing. Right when you... Reb, you can come in here if you want, but join spectators. So for Insurgents, right when you come up this stairwell and peek around, you've got about maybe a second before a security can possibly rush. Okay. Now again, up here you're probably gonna want to take an AKM. Hold on one sec. Let me get these guys in here. Guys, I'm gonna post in the TeamSpeak. Right. Oh, Reb, join spectator. Quick. As soon as you can, bro. Okay. Well, as we're waiting, another big thing that I want to touch on, so I'll just complete this thought. The halfway point is right here. Like right when you get here, you're going to have like a 1 second advantage to see him. Some people will spam across to try and kill him. This guy, though, needs to be careful about balcony window. Okay, balcony window has a clear shot on this window, so you don't want to sit in the windows too much, as you can see right there. So you got to be careful, and everything is wall bangable up here. If you have an AKM or an M16 with AP, you can shoot through these walls. So it's very important that you play with that. Play with AP up here. Apartments is a huge position. Okay, apartments and balcony, these are like is the queen on the chessboard. You control so much power up here, and it is so imperative that you do not lose apartments, especially apartments. You know, balconies, it's okay, but apartments has, you know, you can see diner, you can see balcony, you can cover their arches, you can watch everything, and you hold apartments. So it's really important that you, while you do want to fight this guy 1v1, you also periodically want to be looking diner. Okay, is diner okay? Like, help him out. Because the most important person on the field is the guy capping. Because if he caps, he will bring the whole team back. Even if, you know, and if you die and you protected him, you're coming back too. So you want to give your life, you know, not haphazardly, but, you know, not in vain, but you know, for a reason. So the guy apartments, you know, he's got a lot of work to cut out for himself. Now, if you're playing slow, then maybe apartments will want to just, you know, go prone here, and he's like, oh, cool, it's fine, we're playing slow, no big deal. Like, that's your meta, that's your strategy, then fine, you know. But, you know, sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of pressure, like looking diner, boom, boom, boom. So another thing too about apartments is that if you rush up here, diner will just be coming in right now, and after like a second or two of me sitting here. So I will have a complete advantage. Now, one other thing, you don't want to sit back because then window will pick you. So you always need to be careful of your body positioning. You want to be, up in the middle of this window kind of, so that he can't really see you back there, not easily, but you also got to be careful that this guy can't see you. So you're really playing with your body position here. I want to make sure. Also be careful about this thing. You'll get stuck if you go down here. But this is also another good position. Because you can see the hole down there and you can see through the window, and no one can really see you. But if you go prone, like if you go prone here and you back up, they will see your legs through the wall in apartments.
Be careful of that.
Yeah. It's a huge problem.
I've seen some people that got their legs clipped for the wall, and I was able to pick them off.
Yeah, it's a huge problem in this game. And it's just a source game. Yeah, it's just the engine. It's not a big deal. It's just what it is. I'd rather have that than have prone block like in freaking Call of Duty 4. That was really bad. So that's
my father.
That's apartments. Also, another thing: don't ever walk through broken glass mid-round if you can, because it's like a really loud siren to every competitive player. Competitive players usually have their sound jacked up so we can hear all footsteps. And a big thing that a lot of new players do is, they'll walk. Even walking with your iron sights up while standing makes footsteps, okay? And what you see is a lot of people, they'll shoot a guy, they'll bring their sights down and they're walking around.
I cringe every time.
And even like with my low sound right now, like I have low sound on right now because I was playing in a pub. I can hear the footsteps. So if I jack my sound up, I'm gonna hear all the footsteps through the floor. So a lot of new players, they don't use the walk button. Oh, mine is gone. There it is. It was weird. So there's the walk button. But more conveniently for you is just to crouch with your iron sights up. Crouching with your iron sights up moves a little bit faster than just walking in general. And there's the walk, there's the crouch, there's the walk, there's the crouch. And it doesn't make footsteps. So there's only two ways not to make sound. It's to crouch walk with your iron sights up, or to walk in general. Okay. A lot of people like to leave. I've heard some complaints where like they don't want to crouch walk with your iron sights up. I don't know why you'd want to have your gun down and be moving slow. Because if he comes around the corner, maybe you'll get him hip fire, but do you really want to take that chance? Why not just crouch with your iron sights up and have that for sure kill?
Can you walk with your iron sights? Is that alright?
Yeah, but there's no need.
What?
Because it makes you a lot slower, and you don't make sound either. You don't make sound either way. Right?
Okay.
And campers have advantage in this game. So you moving slowly around a corner, if he's camping and looking at you, looking properly, he's probably going to kill you, because he's going to see one of your shoulders. So, and peeking's important too, but you want to be careful about moving too slow, but you also don't want to make any sounds. Sounds is super big on district, because if you're stomping around up here, the guy in tires is going to hear you. He's going to be like, oh, he's above me in apartments, and which side is he on? Oh, their side apartments. He's always over here. So
Can you shoot through all these walls?
you can shoot through all these ones with the windows.
Right.
All the ones with the windows you can shoot through. So yes, basically all of them. With AKM or M16 with AP. The AKS-74U, even with AP, does not go through probably 90% of the walls. It still goes through some, but barely any. And not really the ones up here. You can't wallbang up here with an AKS, even with AP. Right? Another thing. All right. I guess I will tell you this. People need to stop coming through barbershop. I know a lot of people like to go through barbershop, but here's why. Right there. Super common for snipers and us, Veritas, to pick through mid And look at that. Look at that window. Oh, it's right there. It's right there for me. And I'll just spam that window, and everyone will just run through the window and die and run through barbershop. You should never be going through barbershop. Now, I know that there are at least, you know, probably more than most will disagree with me, and that's fine. But when it's 7-8 and you need that round to tie it up and go to overtime, and you get picked in barber going through the window right off the break, like, that is going to make the difference between winning and losing. You know, and it's like, why take that chance? Okay, yes, you do get a little bit extra time, you know, maybe a second, okay, or if that, probably less. But security usually plays his garage and balcony slow anyways. So what advantage do you really get? Most people just camp in balcony and garage. So you getting that extra second doesn't really mean anything. Maybe it does against some teams. And I'm not saying it won't work and help you. I'm just saying, more often than not, if a team is picking mid, you know, yesterday I was playing in a European pug. I got 3 kills through this, spraying through this window. I was on security. I sprayed from our arches all the way through here, killed 3 players coming through. Easy peasy.
Can you actually see the people, or are
Yes.
you just spraying blindly?
You can.
Okay.
So I play in 75 FOV, so I'm a little more zoomed in so I can see them. I also play on low settings. This is another point to bring up that I was talking to some people yesterday. I have my scope detail at medium, my lens effects disabled, and my soft particles disabled. The lens effects is you get like this glossiness, and I don't like it. So I turn that off. But I'm also at 75 FOV, so I can zoom in a lot farther. Not zoom in farther, but things, you know, I'm closer a little bit. And it gives me that just a little bit of an edge of seeing far away. Now, yes, you're right, because I play in a low FPS, low FOV, I can't see over here to my left. But more often than not, I have good communication with my teammates. I know where they're coming. I know where I should be looking. So yeah, that's barbershop. So usually what you should do is run down, this is Barber Alley, run down Barber Alley. You'll slide across, come into garage, or you'll go up to balcony, okay? So here's the deal. Balcony, a lot of people have started throwing nades right here. It'll land right when you run across. So you'll try to run, boom, you're dead, nade. So be careful. A lot of people don't know how to do it yet, but they'll figure it out, okay? So you want to look over here, you can see there. Sometimes you want to stop here, it just depends. Balcony is one of those like kind of RNG places. You know, what is the balcony guy gonna do? Is he gonna push? Is he not? Are you gonna push? So you just kind of have to fill out what he's gonna do and play it differently. You know, it's nice. You know, if he's not nading it, you know, you can come up here and just go prone and lock it down. You know, and he comes out, he's dead. You know, I've seen players that, you know, they'll rush across balcony and try to get to this side. Now, halfway point, if you get a good spawn, what's up, Bradley B10? If you get a good spawn, then you're probably going to be able to beat him here. But if you get a bad spawn and he gets a good spawn, you know, it could be tight. I would say by the by, Insurgents has the advantage here of rushing. But it just depends on where you spawn.
If you just hold your, if you just watch there, can you not come from your right?
Right here?
From your no, can you come from your right?
No.
From here, yeah.
No, there's nothing up here.
All right.
Yeah, it's just a circle, and you can't boost in this game.
You can only come from there.
Yeah, but you can't come up these boxes, so he can only come from straight ahead.
Okay.
But that being said, if your guy garage goes down, then the guy might be pushing around you and come up behind you. So you gotta have good callouts, which is why a lot of people just play back here, so they can watch. You know, sometimes a sneaky security, he'll do this. He'll rush through diner, come through arches, come all the way around, and shoot you in the back. And you're like, what? How did I die? Well, that's because garage was pushed all the way up to here, and he didn't even see that guy. And usually what will happen is that guy will kill garage and then kill balcony as well. So it just depends. Doesn't happen all the time, and that's like only if your B guy dies. So usually, but to go back, insurgents usually have the advantage up here, but just to this door. You know, you start pushing out here, you're asking for trouble. He has a beat on you in that little crack, and he's in this window right here. So, if you drop hole, you gotta be very careful. You hear that sound? That's the sound of you dropping, and that's the sound of him rotating. If he's playing diner, he's gonna hear that. If he's playing right here too, you're dead. You're chopped liver. So hole's one of those things, you know, play the way you want, but just be careful, because there are a million places to camp here. If he's in diner, you have a better chance, but you know, if he's out here somewhere, camping all the way back or something, this is gonna be hard for you. You're chopped liver. You're toast. So, on garage is usually a no-go zone for insurgents. Security has an extreme advantage right here on this barrel. Okay, so if you push to that barrel, he's probably already going to be waiting for you for about at least a second, maybe two, which gives him enough time, you know, just to wait. Maybe he'll even pre-fire it. So, I mean, in some cases, if he gets a good spawn, he might be able to get to the other side and kill you. So, usually garage is a no-go in the beginning. This is all beginning strategies. Mid-game, things change, and there's no way to determine what to do, really, unless you get proper experience. You know, trial by fire. So that's insurgent side. And B. So on B, it's pretty even. So you can get into B when they can get into B. Like I said, I'd go down Barber Alley, you know, try to run across, save my slide here. Why do I slide there? I'm looking out for this guy in dark window. That dark window, he will be there waiting for me. And sometimes, if he is there, I'm dead. You know, if I walk in here. So what I'm gonna want to do is slide in. Yeah, Bradley, I play push, but usually on attack, on district as well. But I'm playing. This is firefight right now. Sorry, I was talking to someone. So yeah, I'll slide in. Look here, look diner. You know, and then eventually you want to make your way to T2. But it's a 50-50 shot.
Can you get shot from behind? From
Here?
the left?
Left?
No, like,
Right here?
yeah.
Right here?
Yeah, there and a little left as well. The other side.
So this
yeah,
is
there.
this is cubby right here. This is cubby.
Yeah,
This is
okay.
kind of tires area / porch. You can't get shot there if your teammates aren't doing their job. If you got a teammate in tires, and you got a teammate in apartments, you're probably going to be covered. Now here's the thing to remember though. If someone goes down apartments, if your guy goes down apartments, this guy can look straight down, and they'll do that a lot. They'll look right onto T2, boom, you're dead. So keep that in mind. So, you know, maybe T3, which is right here, is the better spot to play, right? But you just have to keep that in mind that he might be able to get there. So you got to be careful. If apartments is compromised, T2 is compromised as well. You can be shot in the back. All right. So a lot of people don't know this.
Bravo,
Yeah.
Sorry. So if you're watching Bravo, like you need to be mindful of 3 places, like where.
Yeah. Well,
where,
so
where can they come from?
you want to limit. So it just depends, right? So say we're all set up. I got a guy in tires. I got a guy in apartments. I got a guy watching my back. Maybe I got a guy in balcony. Who cares about the 4th guy? Okay, the 4th guy's doing whatever he wants. All right. So usually I would watch their arches. Okay. Now
Okay.
they can also come down balcony stairs. They can also come down diner. And I'm gonna make that call when I hear him. You know, if I hear him stomping around, coming down balcony or through diner, maybe I'll peek really quick, you know, and try to kill him. Intricate. Let me get you.
Hey.
Hold on. Do I have you on? Yeah, I do. Here, I'll send
I
you.
just added you.
Gotcha. I'll send you info right now. Yeah, you know how to join all friends?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Here, I'll give you a password. There's a password. When you get in, go to spectator right away.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem, dude. So yeah, so Rain, to answer your question, you kind of got a lot of places, but yes, I do have a lot of places that they can come at me from, but I want to block their line of sight and limit. So okay, I only need to worry about this one lane. You know, if I'm camping in the middle of B, it's like, holy crap, okay, they're over here, where are they coming from? You know, that's why you don't want to play.
You just hardly have no cover.
Yeah, you don't want to play in the middle of an objective ever. You want to play on one end, so that you only have to focus on as much as possible. Let the objective do the work for you. Okay? Now, I'm going to break this off just because we're going into a different topic. Speaking of letting the objective do the work for you, say you're capping A. You're the last guy, all right? You want to play one end of the objective. Now, there are several points in this objective you can do that. I'll tell you where it's not. It's not in the middle. Okay? So what I mean to do that is, this is the common spot. You play Darkroom. No one can see me from behind, okay? So basically, I'm using the objective as a buffer. So as soon as they walk in the objective, I know that they're going to be behind me because I'm paying attention to that little A diamond at the bottom of my screen. Okay? So I'm going to look this way. I'm like, okay, they just spawned. And they just spawned, and I'm just going to watch back here. I'm just going to keep focused on here because I have no information if they're coming here or not. All right, so then I'll get a kill here, and as soon as I see that A point flash, then I know they're behind me. I'm letting the objective do the work for me. You can also do it here, okay? Watching just this right area right here, the back alley of A. I'm going to watch here, and then if A starts flashing, okay, I'm going to look Darkroom. Maybe they're in the front. Maybe they're by Fridge. Fridge can do it as well. It's just a little more dangerous, especially if they just spawned. It's gonna be a little hard. You're gonna be like kill one, maybe, and then now you have to like where are you gonna kill the other one? Maybe he comes there. Maybe he comes here. Maybe he comes over by the hole. There's not really any difference. Valor. Yeah, there's no real difference in the rush on B from either team. You kind of get there at the same time. The only difference is that security is going to have to jump over that concrete barrier a lot of times if they want to rush in more quickly. But usually they don't because you can see them. But yeah, this side is a little harder to defend from. I usually wouldn't play here unless I absolutely got stuck there. You know, Darkroom is going to be your bet here as well. Use the objective to your advantage. Don't play in the middle. You know, because, you know, Rain, like you said, where can they come from when you're capping on A? Well, they can come, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm just going to worry about this one point. Focus on this. As soon as that point's flashing, then I'll make a move and try to kill.
So what about like baiting an objective? Like just make it flash so they come to you?
Yeah, it depends.
And then you get off of it?
It depends. It depends on if you know where they're at. So like if you know they're close and you know that there's no way I'm going to cap this objective to bring back my teammates, then yes, then bait. But most of the time, more often than not, maybe 75% of the time, you want to get that cap to bring all four of your teammates back, especially if you're hero capping. Because you're gonna be like, well, shit, okay, maybe one guy will come to block me. Let me 1v1 that guy and kill him. Here's a common mistake that a lot of new players make. Okay, say I'm camping here, all right, and it's let's say it's 2v1. Okay, they capped B and we killed all of them, and it's 2v1 now. Now they're capping C. I'm capping A. Now A starts flashing. Or gets blocked. A's blocked. I'm trying to cap A. A's like 50% blocked, or let's just make this more dramatic. A is 99% blocked. Okay, I have 1% more to cap this and bring back my teammates, and they are also capping C. I know there's only 2 left because I know I have good minus callouts. I see a lot of players who will just sit here and wait until the enemy captures C. Now, instead of a 2v1, which really was a 1v1 because I know one guy's on C, instead of it being 2v1, it's now 5v1. So when you get in that situation where A's at 99%. They're capping C. You know there's only 2 left. It's a 1v1 situation on A. You need to go kill that guy and bring back your team. You know, I see it all the time where just people, I'm just like, no, go kill him, don't camp, because instead of 2v1, it's going to be 5v1. So that's something that I see, and you know what? It happens. You know, you're new, you're like, oh shit, I don't want to I don't want to screw up, but you got to go. You got to force that 1v1 or the odds will not be in your favor. So it's better you tried to go kill him than, now it's a 5v1 and now you're dead. Like no
Okay,
one.
so that's another question about that scenario.
Yeah.
So say you got the 1v1 and the cap, but now they all just spawned in, including the guy you just killed.
Uh-huh.
So where would you position yourself? Because you're right next to their spawn now. So where's the best place to put
So
yourself
have I
to
capped?
be effective with your team? Yeah, you just capped it, and that you just killed the other guy, and they just capped. So they're all coming for you.
Okay. So there's multiple places to camp. All right. So a lot of people like this corner right here by the trash can, and what they'll do is they'll wait, and they'll be like, okay, there goes one, boom, kill him, and then there should be a second one that's coming too. A lot of people will like to camp here as well, but this spot's a little more dangerous because you can't see over here. And then people will also camp here,
Okay.
right here, and try to pick them as they come out of the school. But it's really a toss-up, and this is kind of where, like, most competitive players, right when they respawn and you cap A, they're gonna be like, watch the spawn camp, watch the spawn camp. So you may be able to use that to your favor, like, oh, they're
My favorite.
they're like, yeah, oh, they're gonna be, they think I'm gonna spawn camp them, so I'm not gonna spawn camp them. I'm actually gonna go to B, and they're gonna take forever to come to A.
Because they'll be watching every corner.
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes you want to do
Yes.
that.
It's funny to actually get a ton of kills on new players. They'll be like, okay, where is this shot coming from?
Yeah. So another spot is right here. This is probably the best spot because, like, you can't really be hit from anywhere. So, like, you're like right here, you take down one, then you shift windows, and no one can really shoot at you. Like, you've just got one point of contact. So this is probably like one of the best spots to camp. But it's kind of like, when are you gonna be up here? Like, you're gonna cap B and they're gonna cap C. So. Also, there's another thing on this map which is important is choosing when to cap, because, like, if we cap, say, this is more for security usually a lot. You want to cap the point that's closest to your natural. So our natural point on insurgents is C. You want to cap B because, if you cap A, it's going to be really hard for people to get out there and help you, and then if you die, you give them a free respawn. So a lot of times we won't cap a point. Like, we'll just be like, okay, we're not going to cap because we don't want to do that. Or what we do against a lot of new teams is new teams will cap for no reason. So say you start getting into this weird, like, merry-go-round. Say we cap A and they're capping B and C at the same time. We'll wait. And we'll let them cap both points because now they can't respawn their team. Now, that brings me up to another point, is saving your capture. All right? Now, for anyone who watched the match that we had, they were commenting a lot how we would come here on security, cap the point to 99%, and then walk off. And what we do is we're saving that cap point. If there's 5 of you alive, why should you cap a point? I mean, unless there's like 30 seconds left, then okay, yes, cap. But if 5 of you are alive and none of you are dead, what's the point of capping? So a lot of times we'll save caps. And that's like a little bit higher level because that requires a lot of communication. You're hitting tab, okay, all my 5 of my teammates dead. How many have we killed? Like, should I cap, should I not? What's the time left, etc., etc. You also don't want to run too far away because then you can't get back. So, that's just like...
Can it decap without enemies getting on, or is it always staying at 99?
Not in the DGL theater. In NWI comp, it does decap. And I don't really like that because it removes baiting, like you said, right? What if I tap B because I want them to come to me? What if I go, boom, I touch B, and now I just sit in this corner, right? And I'm like, oh, they think B's capping, so I'm just going to wait for them to come, right? Well, you can't do that in the other theater because it decaps. So if I'm sitting here then it decaps to neutral, and they're like, oh, it was a fake. You know? So it's kind of cool, like, when it doesn't decap, because you apply a lot of pressure. So you're like, okay, cool, touched it, it's at 99%, now I'm just going to wait. And now that, but also, that could screw you, right? If they slip into the objective and you don't know it, now they're capping. Also, another point to make, sometimes you have to make a decision. So say I come in here and I need to cap this point, right? And I walk in, I kill the guy that's capping. I'm like, holy crap, it's at 80%. Okay? 80% is going to take you roughly around 45 seconds to cap. Okay? About 45 seconds to cap, all right? In that time, you could run over to A and cap quicker than if you just waited here. And B is not the best, you know, not that defend, you know, you can't really defend it. So you need to make a decision sometimes. If you want to stay here 30 seconds, you know, and granted, you've got, say you're like, it's like 2v4, okay? Now you're like, okay, where are they coming from? Where are they coming from? Where are they coming from? You know, or do you just want to take that chance and go to A and secure the cap? You know, sometimes you got to make that decision where you're like, all right, it's better for me to get the cap and stay alive, even if the capture's far away. So like what we'll do, what we did like on this map last night is like, say like this happened. I think we lost like, it was like 1v4 or something. Everyone went down and I forgot who was alive. I don't know who it was, but he was like, okay, I'm here. I'm not going to go for B because they're all over it. I'm just going to run all the way to A and cap that point instead. So sometimes you just have to make those decisions. And that comes with experience as well. So.
Can I ask you, like, when the round time has run out and somebody's at an objective, would the round end there?
No.
Or?
The round does not end until one team fully possesses 2 points.
Right. Even if the round time is finished, it won't end.
Mm-hmm. So theoretically, you could have a round that goes for infinity time.
Right.
So, and like really symmetrical maps, like verticality, that happens a lot because, you know, in this map you can play around with B, but in verticality, the B is super open, so no one wants to go for it. So everyone just sits, and then like the round is at 0, and you just wait there for like ever. So it's kind of like, I personally don't like verticality, but you know, some people like it. But that's just me.
Well, then it's a good thing you put it in the new season.
Well, yeah, that's why I also had a vote to get it out recently. So we're gonna decide on that soon. That was Torix, by the way, not me. But all right, so that's Insurgents. So let me go over some common things for security. I think most of you got the gist of it, though. So usually, you know, it's the same as Insurgents. You know, one will go tires, one will go apartments. Usually one will rush into B, like I said, come in here, go prone, watch tires as well. Tires is what I'm looking at right here. All right, and then we're capping. One will go balcony, which is up here. And they have 2 spots to play. They can usually play the window, like I showed you guys right here. But the window gets pre-fired a lot. But it's a good spot to play in the beginning, so they can't rush you. But eventually, you're gonna want to move into something like this, and then peek. But you got to be mindful when you peek as a security of these windows right here. In apartments, lower tires, gay barrel. So you want to be real careful when you come here, that you know you don't come out like this. You know you're right here. You're fully exposed. Always aware of where your body is and where you're exposed to. You know. Stay low, watch over here as you come play. Just peek through here. Like I said, Insurgents are going to have the advantage of pushing onto the balcony, but you'll be able to look out the window in time to see if they rush. So most people who try to rush will get picked right away by the guy watching through the window. Like I said, for diner or garage, this guy on security will have the advantage for about a second or 2 watching these barrels. Then he might move here and watch holes above, and then they might play right here. Those are just common spots. So usually a team will play, you know, one person in each lane. All right. Insurgents have the advantage on workshop or tires. So if I'm security right now, so say I'm security, you got to be real careful of pushing up into here, because if they're camping right there, they're gonna kill you. Now, say you get a good spawn, say you're running MP5 only with an AP, you're running super fast. Yeah, maybe you can get right here. Maybe you can get by them and get into cubby. Okay, it can work. I'm not saying it can't, and I've seen plenty of players get away with it. Oh, I am stuck going left. There we go. I've seen players get away with it, but it's super RNG. If that guy right there gets a good spawn, you're gonna get lit up trying to rush here. So, and you have to get a good spawn. So if you get a good spawn, maybe you can rush it, but usually you can't. Question: how frequent do you get picked at running into B? So we usually don't get picked that much, because when you're running into B, you don't want to do this. Okay, this is what you don't want to do. When you're running into B, you don't want to hop over this thing, because holy crap, you just made yourself a giant target for them. You're going to want to run like this. Okay, you'll come across, slide here, now you're here again, slide again, there you go, now you're in. Okay, so it's just about knowing what to do. Now, again, I want to reiterate this point because it's so important. You can run through this window if you want in Barbershop or Barbershop in general. Fine, do what you want to do. But I'm telling you, you play against us or another team that picks mid, and you are going to die, because they are going to pick mid with an M16 or a sniper, and you're going to give them that free kill. So we play usually down Barber Alley. We'll slide in, you know, just like the same. Also, another little trick to do: if they're rushing B, you can sit here and look through these little slats. Okay, see if he's over there. Sometimes people won't touch the point. So say this is a common rush right here. Okay, same on Insurgents. Don't like B. They don't have to cap B sometimes. Sometimes they won't cap it to bait you out into thinking they are. So say I'm rushing, right, and I'm the guy rushing on B. I rush into here through tires. You know, I won't touch the B point. So these, you know, this is where the B zone is right here. What this rafters? I won't touch the B zone. I'll come out here, come right here. You know, maybe peek into diner real quick, see if there's a guy there. Come here. There'll usually be a guy concrete, maybe. A lot of people have been starting playing red van. You know, and then I'll flank. So I won't even touch the B point. So it lures people into thinking, oh, they aren't even on B yet. They're nowhere near me. You know, but then all of a sudden, you know, they're behind you, and they're like, what? How'd he get there? Well, he didn't touch B. He lured you into thinking that you were safe. Do I ever play sniper in Barber? Yeah, some people do. I don't like using a sniper, and here's why, okay? And I've been saying this lately a lot, and I know that people don't agree with me, which is fine. But I think a sniper is a waste. Like, to snipe all the time, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, cool, you killed that one guy one round, but like, what are you doing for the rest of the round? Like, yeah, the pistols are really good, but you better be good with a pistol then. So, like, I think sniping is a good trick play. Like, every other round, or maybe every 4 rounds, you pull out the sniper. But what happens with people who snipe is, like, they're the last guy alive, right? So it's 1v5. They're gonna get 2 or 3 kills, probably, maybe. So then they got a 2-to-1 KD. So they're like, well, I'm doing a good job because I have a lot of kills. Yeah, well, you having a lot of kills because you're the last guy alive versus 5 of them when your teammates all died, you know, that's not really beneficial. So I think that sniping on a map like District, I mean, I have more reason to not like it than like it. I mean, if someone's really good with a pistol, it could work. Do I play... if you were playing a sniper, you would pick through mid. Like, that would be your one advantage. Or maybe play apartments or balcony. But you'd have to be a damn good shot, and most people aren't that good of a shot. on a map like Market, maybe yes, a sniper would be more beneficial. But even then, Market has a lot of long-range shots or mid-range shots where it's super awkward sniping, and a pistol's not really going to cut it sometimes. What? Do you guys have any questions? I mean, I've been talking a lot. I know, I'm telling you a lot.
I have a question. It's about tactics, basically. It's
Sure.
just something that I was thinking about. Like, I was just thinking, like, if as a team, you just
Cali go
forget
spec.
about
Cali go spec.
Oh, sorry, mate.
It's okay. Quick.
just
Oh shit.
There we go.
What's up? Go ahead, Rain.
yeah, I was just saying, like, if you just leave one objective, just don't worry about it. Just defend your own objective and take the open objective, which is like common to both the teams, and try to defend that. Is that like a valid strategy?
Absolutely. That's how people usually play most maps.
Right.
Hey, Link.
What's up, buddy?
I just joined, so can you like start over? Joking with you, man.
Yeah. Okay, buddy. Just for
Yeah.
you.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd
That's
also
fine.
like a coffee with two creamer,
Yeah.
please.
That's fine.
No. So yeah, Rain. Yes, you make a valid point. What you're talking about is don't spread yourself too thin, right? Play within your means. Usually, what we'll play is a natural and a neutral. We naturally on Insurgents have C, and we want to play B. Now that being said, like I said, sometimes you don't have that option. Say it's a 1v4, they're all over B. You push through tires right here, okay? And now you're like, well, there's guys all over B, so I'm probably not going to go there, right? Now, one thing you need to be mindful of, which I just want to reiterate this again, is your footsteps. So this is kind of a judgment call. I would probably typically run, but this guy balcony is definitely going to hear you, okay? When you're running to A. So that's one of those times where, yeah, you're like, okay, I got to play their objective, Rain. Like you don't have a choice. Like, are you going to try to 1v4 people on B? Not the best options. There's a lot of height advantage that they're going to have. Where, you get them in CQC on A, you stand a fighting chance here. You know what I mean, Rain?
Right.
So,
But what I was talking about was at the beginning of the round.
yes, at the beginning, I would say in general, I would play natural and neutral. Now, as you get more experienced, you might want to throw in different strategies where, say you're playing 2 rounds really heavy on B, and they're like, holy crap, they're always coming B. So then the 3rd round, you say, no, I'm not going to play B. We're going to play A. So then they're scared. Now this brings me up to another thing that I haven't talked about yet. We call it the 6th man, all right, in Veritas. And it's basically just psychology. So say you camp tires, okay? Okay, no. Let's do apartments. Okay, say you're in apartments, right? And this guy, first round, you come here, you get a little advantage, you kill him. Most people, that's gonna piss them off. When people die, they usually get pissed. A little bit angry, not like raging, but they're like, damn it, I died. I'm gonna show that guy that I'm better than them. So he's probably gonna come back and in some way, shape, or form do the same thing. If he's playing aggressive apartments and you kill him, he's probably gonna play apartments aggressive again. Now when you kill him for the 2nd time, he's gonna say, okay, it's not about me, it's about my team. I need to stop dying. So he's probably not gonna rush you. So you're in his head. He's gonna think, okay, that guy's doing really good. He killed me twice. He's probably gonna do the same thing. So don't do the same thing. So he thinks you're gonna be right here watching this door. Don't be there. Maybe instead look in diner. So it's almost like you have a 6th person playing with you. He thinks you're right here in his mind, but you're not. You're right here. You're picking over here, but mentally he doesn't want to push you because he's afraid of dying. So on maps like this map, like District, you can really play. We call it playing the sixth man. Like psychologically, he doesn't want to die, so he's not going to push you. So it's something interesting, and it's something weird that we do. Like sometimes we're like, if we get a lot of kills in one area, you know, we might make a judgment call. Like if I kill a guy in tires down here twice, maybe we won't send someone tires, and then that'll completely shift our whole entire strategy. You know, maybe we'll stack 3 on B, or have 2 push mid. You know, 2 push down mid, 1 goes here, 1 goes balcony, and then now you have this crazy strategy just off psychology. So there's a lot of thinking that goes on in this game, and knowledge is power. You know, a lot of people have good aim, decent aim, you know, in this game, but having knowledge, that's what makes, you know, a good team great. So, and that's how we play. There's also another thing we do, which a lot of people know about now. So say we're in apartments again, okay? And what you'll do is you'll say, okay, most often than not, this is what's going to happen, okay? If he's coming up apartments and I shoot this wall, he's going to be over here. So, okay, now I'm playing security. I'm security, America. Alright, so I'm going to be like, oh shoot, he shot the wall. He knows I'm here. I don't want to push it. Again, using psychology, I'm just going to shoot this wall, look mid. You know? Okay, there's no guys there. You know? Shoot the wall, look mid. I'm protecting my teammate, you know? Like, okay, we're capping B. I need to hold apartments because, you know, T2 is exposed. My teammate's right there. You know, T2. Alright? So I'm trying to protect. And you'll get into the situation where it's like 3v2, okay? And most of the time, what's going to happen is the guy garage is going to go down, and this guy's going to have to cover back here because he doesn't want to get picked. And then if, you know, then it's apartment's job to cover everywhere else. So apartments is like looking like a madman. He's like, oh, I'm stuck going right. Stop it. There we go. I don't know why it's happened twice. That's never happened to me. So what will happen? Oh, Berserk, what's up, dude?
How you doing?
Good. I'm gonna send you information right now on Steam, or not on Steam. I'll send you on TeamSpeak. There you go. Okay. So where were we? Okay. So you know it's 3v2. I know there's a guy apartments, but my focus, like I said, is the guy capping the objective. He's the most important person. Okay. If he caps the objective, even if I die, he's gonna bring all of us back, and that's what I care about. I care about the team. I don't care about my life. You know, I'm a martyr. Whatever. Okay. So I want to watch their arches. He's down there in T2, which is that place right there. He's watching garage. Okay. So I know no one can really flank me unless they push through tires, but it doesn't really matter. I don't care about that. All I care about is helping him. Okay. So I look here. I'm looking here. I snap back here. I fire a couple. Shoot shots off. Look back balcony. Look diner. You know, where's he coming from? Then look back. You know, and I'm looking all over the place. But the most important thing is that I fire off a couple shots in this wall, because then that scares apartments. When people are being shot at, they usually feel like, oh shit, this guy knows where I am. You know, it's like here. You know, if you're, where'd I go? It's like here. Like say I'm camping back here on Barber Alley and I'm looking garage. You know, if I see a guy and I shoot at him, he's gonna duck back in. There are bullets passing by this guy's head, right? Crunchy, go spec, please. Quick.
Hi.
Go spectate. You know?
Okay.
Shut up. Stop using a fake voice. You know, if you're getting shot at here, you're not gonna peek, right? You're like, well, I'm not gonna peek. Some people will randomly peek. I hate those players. They're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna peek randomly, and then they'll actually get that kill on you, which like never happens, but sometimes it does. But most players, when they get shot at, you know, oh crap, he knows where I am. I'm not going over there anymore. And he's just gonna think like, oh, he's always guarding that direction, right? Well, when he makes that decision in his mind, oh, he's gonna be playing there. Don't play there. You know, maybe you move up then, and you play balcony or something. So we play a lot using psychology and stuff.
Can you talk a little bit about like when you do the lean peak, when you lean to one side, like when you should do it or how you should do it?
Um, so there are like, so here I'll show you something. So expect me in third person,
How do you do that?
just spacebar.
Safe.
So if you lean right here, it's really hard to see me from other
Right.
places, but I can watch up here more safely. So sometimes when you want to use cover better, it'll help. So you can lean like that, but there aren't a lot of spots that you can do this in, but you can. But it also brings you a little lower, or I think it brings you higher. I don't know, whatever to do. But you can use it to cover. There are certain spots where you need to lean to look through. Now I know I'll answer your question directly in a second. Like this spot, this is easier to see if you lean. If you're not leaned, it's harder for you to see. But if you're leaned, you can see directly in there. Watch me in first person right now.
Okay.
Yeah, see. But if I'm not leaned, I can't really see.
Right.
But when to peek and when not to, it just depends. I would say that generally speaking, I am not peeking. You know, maybe I peek sometimes, but most of the time I don't. Maybe you peek really quickly, something. I mean, I probably do it like once every 2 rounds or so, you know, but it's like a specific thing, like, oh shit, I'm gonna look really quick. You know, I just want to peek really quick. Like, oh, I'm coming out of tires, I want to see if there's a sniper red van. I'm just gonna peek really quick. You know? And also something to note, being aware of your body again, you can see feet underneath this van right here, but if a security place to the right, you can't see the feet. So
Right.
it's just about looking at your position and seeing where other people are. Any other questions? I think I've covered a lot.
I know, like, I come from a background of like Counter-Strike and games like that. Are there like set strategies with smokes and flashes and stuff, or not so much?
Not really, because in CS there's not as many, like, you know, CS has like very, very distinct lanes, you know?
Yeah, I know. There's not as many angles.
Yeah, there's not that many angles, so it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna smoke banana or go squeaky door or whatever, blah blah blah. Not really, you know. It's kind of like the thing is like there's so many like different things you can do in this game that can just make the difference and change up a whole entire strategy. I wouldn't say that there's a set strategy for smokes and flashes. There's definitely like set nades on heights or station. But most things are clipped. You know, you can't really throw over because the skybox is there. See? So you can't really nade over anything. So there's not going to be really that many nades. I mean, there's
Okay.
there's this nade. 1 second. You know, there's this nade that a lot of people have started doing. I always miss it when people are watching. You know, it'll land in there. But there are nades like that that some people will start doing.
Okay. But nothing for like smokes to get on the site faster or anything like that.
Here's the problem with smokes. Smokes are super client side. I know they're client side in most games, but they're super client side. And usually if you smoke something, you're also going to give them advantage, you know? Where like as in like CS, you're going to be pushing straight through the smoke a lot, or you're going to be blocking like say mid on D-Tuz 2, you know, and able to cross or something. I don't know if you would do that, but I don't really play CS. But in this game, like say you're going to smoke, like I see this one all the time. Okay, they're like, "Oh, there's a sniper." And they're going to be like, "Okay, I'm going to smoke right here." Okay. Well, you smoke right there, but like what are you walking into now? You know? As soon as you walk through here, you know, apartments is going to kill you. What if there's a guy tires? You just given yourself a white background against your player model, you know? So
Yeah.
typically I wouldn't advise like if you're going to smoke deep. so that they get blocked. Which like a lot of new players, they'll like throw a smoke on B. Like I've had people like smoke on B, and I can't see anything now. So say I'm balcony, and they smoke on B because they're scared. Okay, so I'm trying to help my teammate. I'm on balcony. I'm like, okay. He smokes the middle of B. I can't see anything now. So then I'm like, okay, well, and then I can't see anything. And otherwise, I would have picked apartments. You know, I'd have picked tier. I would have picked arches, maybe tires, as well. So I typically try to advise people to use their smokes carefully. I know that was a long-winded answer. I would say that no, there are not set smoke strategies.
And smokes are slow.
Yeah. Smokes take a long time to deploy, but, you know, if you have something like the 203 smoke, oh, you son of a... There we go. You know, like, some things that we'll do here, like, say this guy on dark room is just crazy. He's like, all right, man, this guy dark room, he's so good, man. Or dark window, he's killing me. You know, you can just quickly, you know, fire smoke up there and it instant deploys.
Okay.
So some people will do that. But look at this, watch. This smoke, well, let me see, it's not doing it here. Sometimes this 203 smoke, it drifts. So like, you'll put it on the ground and then it'll just move away, and you'll be like, what? Where'd it go? It doesn't.
Yeah,
It
it's
doesn't
a bit
do
more
it.
see-through.
It doesn't. It doesn't do. Yeah, it's a little bit wonky too, sometimes.
I like it on market, but
Yeah.
So when you're buying up like at the beginning of the round, should you buy what like grenade should you buy, or should you buy any grenade? And should you buy like full armor, light armor, no armor?
Okay, so against a competitive team, armor is worthless. Everyone takes AP because they want to be able to penetrate through walls. And AP, if you look at the damage calculator and stuff, which someone made, which is really good, AP still does like 100% damage on like everything. I'm not here to argue about what's real or what's not. I just play the game. And the game's programming says that AP, you know, does, you know, kills just as well as HP, or it will negate armor. Sorry. AP will basically negate armor. Okay. I know that we could talk for hours about armor plates and blah 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 and what's realistic. I don't want to get into that. The game says that AP negates armor, basically. Okay. So armor is kind of useless against competitive players because all competitive players take AP. So my loadout right now is I have an AKM, AP, a grenade, smoke, and chest rake. We are in a modified theater, the competitive theater that we made at DGL. It's a little bit different. Okay. So sometimes you're not going to be able to get a chest rig with a smoke. What you always want to have is AP ammo, and if you can get anything else, you should get a nade. Okay, that's how I play. That's how most of Veritas plays. I know there are other teams where they'll be like, oh, I don't want a nade, I want a suppressor or something. But it's super expensive in this theater, and it's super expensive in NWI comp as well, I think. It's kind of like not a big deal.
So what about iron sights versus scopes? Do you suggest either of those, or just personal preference?
If you can drop a 30 bomb with an ACOG, do your thing, boo. But but for most people, I suggest using iron sights. Now, most people don't have a problem with insurgents iron sights. Most people have a problem with security iron sights. I don't. I come from Call of Duty 4 and another mod called Hostile Intent, which is super old. No one knows about. So I'm used to these iron sights. I'm fine with them. Okay.
I don't like the sites where it blocks your peripheral vision. Like you
Yeah,
can't see
exactly. And that's another thing is I don't like that either. So this happens all the time, and it just it drives me crazy. I don't even know which scope. Is this one? Yeah. Okay. So like this will happen. Let me see. I believe I see this a lot. So like, I think it might be the bigger one. So like,
I
say
think you're thinking of the red dot.
yeah,
Red dot. Yeah.
Okay. Like the people who take the red dot. See, I don't even use them, so I don't even know. The 2x.
No.
The
Regular
red.
one too.
Okay. Yeah.
Even that one was blocking the windows.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like something I'll see. Like, you know, as I'm like, when you're dead, you're supposed to be an active spectator, right? So like another thing in comp we watch kills. Okay. So say I'm shooting at the window. Okay. My teammate should be dead. They should be holding tab, and they're like, I'm like, oh, I got him, and they'll be like, no, you didn't kill him. And I'll be like, oh shit, you know. Or more likely they say, I'll be shooting. They say, you killed him, and then I'll move on. So you can confirm kills by holding down the tab and watching the kills. Okay. The problem with removing that is that it removes it from spectator. So we're kind of like, yeah, it's kind of cheap, but it's if you can't see it when we're spectating as like shoutcasting, kind of like ruins things. Because people like to see, oh, what's the KD of that player? Oh, and he's so good. But yeah, like here, like, you know, I mean, I can't, even looking down in a B right here, looking down at tires, I can't see these windows. You know, here as well, I'm looking cubby, I can't see. So why aren't there standards in competitive play? I think the DGL has pretty much standardized things. We gave suggestions to NWI for their theater, which is way more bare boned, but I think people by like having options. It makes them feel good. So it's funny, like, we came out and we said, hey, here's the programming, AP negates armor. People didn't care. People were mad that they couldn't choose armor, and we said, well, we all take AP, so your armor doesn't matter. And they're like, well, it matters to me. And we're like, but the numbers, and they didn't care. So why don't we strip down armor? Why do we have armor in our config even though 90% of players take AP ammo? It's the option. People like having those options. It makes them feel better. And if they're happy and they stay, that makes me happy. Okay, so I'm fine. Whatever.
Well, you can use it at the first round, the fifth round. It's the only round it's quite useful.
Yeah, I still don't use it. Doesn't stop me.
It's still
It doesn't matter when I shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
How many bullets does it take to kill someone with like the AP ammo? Or
it should. So now we're going down a slippery slope. It should take you 1, maybe 2, but sometimes your servers and your internet will tell you no. So there have been a little bit of hit reg issues, as we saw. Well, as some people saw 2 patches ago, they fixed it, but there are some little ones, especially if you're playing on a 64 tick. You know, in trick, like you would know, playing on a 64 tick versus a 128.
Versus 128.
Yeah, it's way different.
Basically, dreadful 64 tick.
Yeah, and especially if like their lerp's all weird, and if a server is forcing super high rates, not everyone can play at those rates. They're lagging all over too. It's just like a whole conundrum of just issues. It's like, dude, don't force high rates if it's a 64 tick. Like, it's like, why would you force a 128 tick on people if your server is only a rate? If your server is only a 64 tick, it's just, I don't know. So there's a lot of issues. But yes, it should take 1 kill, maybe 2. But sometimes
does it depend upon the distance? Like if
No, sometimes it doesn't detect.
No. This is it's hit scan, so there's no. It's like a laser
Bullet
beam.
drop.
Yeah, there's no bullet drop and there's no distance that they
None of
counted.
that stuff.
Yeah, it's just a laser beam basically. Where you shoot is where you go. You don't need to lead targets at all. But yeah, we got off at a tangent there. In trick, I don't use optics. Why? Because there's this right here. Like, you see how it's kind of like weird? It's kind of like disorienting because you're like kind of zooming in, like the optics there. I don't like that. There's like a little bit of optic lag, if you can kind of tell. I mean, my eye can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, but it's kind of like weird. I hate that. It bothers the crap out of me, especially if I'm coming up here and I gotta pull up my gun really quick. You know, it's like, oh, it's whipping around. You know, it's kind of weird. I don't like it. And if you're playing with lens flare, oh, you just came in late. So for video settings, escape video settings, I have scope detail at medium, lens effects at disabled, and soft particles disabled.
Okay.
So if you turn that lens effects on, it looks like, you know, there's a party going on in your lens, and I don't like that. So I have everything turned on low as well.
Another question about zooming, kind of. Do you typically go down sights almost every kill, or
Yes.
do you hit fire?
No, do not hit fire. Another thing, because you're from CS, don't do this.
Yeah, that's all I do is hit fire.
Don't do this right here. This is what gets a lot of CS players. The AD dancing that they do, it messes with your aim a lot. Don't do it. And the thing is, in this game, you're kind of like hiding, right? It's kind of like everyone's being a ninja. Okay? If you're AD dancing over here, oh, where is he? Where is he? As soon as this guy in apartments looks out, he's gonna see your little head bobbing up and down, you know. And it'll give him like, it'll cut his reaction time in half, you know, because he'll see you moving. He won't have to process in his brain if you're a jug or a texture or something. He's like, okay, that thing is moving. That's definitely a head, and I'm gonna pop it like a watermelon. So a lot of people start AD dancing a lot, and I hate it because it messes up your aim a lot. You know, you're off point. And sometimes you only get that one little head to pick, and if you're AD dancing, it's messing with your aim. It's super low time to kill, you know, especially like playing Rails on Quake.
Okay.
You know? So you don't want to be AD dancing anywhere.
And you always want to aim down sights.
Yes,
Pretty much every kill.
pretty much. I mean, if you get spooked, you know, like sometimes if you come around this corner and oh my god, there's a guy prone here, what the heck, you know, you're just light him up,
Yeah.
you know. But
So there's no reason to get like a laser sight or that kind of stuff.
No.
Don't bother
four
with it.
grip.
Yeah. Some people get foregrips, but the problem with this theater is that if you do go foregrip, let me see what I can get here. Foregrip, AP, then I can only get a nade, and I can't get a smoke if I get a foregrip.
Okay.
So usually I'll forego the foregrip. Instead, I'll get a heavy barrel. Now I think it's like heavy barrel is like 10% reduction, and foregrip's 20%. Something like that. I forgot what it is. Also, another thing about the M16. Always play in semi. Why? Because say I'm trying to say I'm trying to pick this guy over here. If I miss once, you know, I can instantly come back down. But if I'm in burst, there's 3 shots I miss. There's 3 shots I miss. There's 2 extra shots I'm missing. So it's much easier to just spam semi. You have much more control. You're not gonna miss, especially in CQC. You know, if he slides across and you're playing burst, you miss. It's just awkward. So don't play. I usually play in semi because you can just pick people one shot, just one tap, just boom.
Are most guns all in semi then? Or just burst?
Most guns are insurgents. It's all
Can't vary on
yeah.
the rate of fire.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So insurgents, it's gonna be auto, and then on security, some people play with the M4. So it'll be MP5, M4. Those are usually auto. Same with the AC556. And then the M16 is usually played on semi. Some people use other guns, the FAL or whatnot, but most, I would say actually just the M16. Just play that on semi. All other guns usually played on auto. I only play. What's up?
Go ahead.
Oh, I only
I
play.
was just gonna ask you
Go ahead.
like which materials you can shoot through after you were done.
Disabled again. Oh, I didn't do Arkham.
Say hello.
There you are. Alright. So, a lot, but a little. Depends on the map. So here, you're going to be able to shoot through, like, almost any of these. You see?
Yep.
But, like, it just depends. So the MP5, the AKS, they're not going to go through anything. Your best bets for penetrating walls, AKM or your M16 with AP, okay? Some of the other ones will be fine, but you can pierce most things. But you just got to test it out for yourself and spend a lot of time. Everything here, these are all wall bangable. So you can just light kids up from there. I think it takes off a percentage of damage per thickness. So through thick walls, it's going to cut it down a little bit. So you have to put a bunch of rounds in. But say like you nick someone, right, and he goes prone over there. If you just shoot through that wall, usually you'll get the kill. So.
Yeah, so Link, what's your opinion about flashlights? They are
Oh
quite
my
useful
gosh.
sometimes. I know.
No.
So
Yeah, I know.
so some people.
Lunatic.
So, yeah, one player in particular who was on a Division 1 team uses a flashlight, and he likes it. But the problem with flashlights is you can see him through walls. So like,
Yeah.
if he's running, if he's running this way, you might even be able to see it through the floor in some aspects. Like especially in
Yeah.
especially in apartments. I mean, it works sometimes, right? Like, but like
But you should only use them when you like pop out of corners and ready to shoot somebody.
maybe. But for me, it's like, oh, I just aim in the middle of it. I mean, it works sometimes, but the classic one is when Luna was running up the stairs with a flashlight, and the flashlight was like going all the way through the wall. Is like we're just like, dude, we see you, man. Like, he just pre-fire. We just pre-fired him, but I love that guy. So
Flashlight's awesome.
I advise against them, but whatever, dude. If you're
Flashlight or lasers, take it off.
never use a laser for sure. It gives you away.
Well, yeah, exactly. Lasers always suck, but flashlights, sometimes actually useful. Just to mess with people.
Hey, can I ask you one last question?
Sure, Rain, go ahead.
Yeah, like basically, like often I have like most people have a situation like they're running and they suddenly see a guy in front of them, and they have to basically like put their sights up and shoot. So, do you let go of the movement keys? Like, say you're moving forward, and you see a guy, and do you let go of the movement keys and then shoot, or do you just kind of like, does the game penalize you for shooting while you're moving?
Yeah, well, usually I'm running and then I'll stop, but not really. I mean, if you can control your aim, it should be fine. I mean, it doesn't. For what you're talking about, no, not really. So it doesn't really affect you that much. Like I know what you're talking about, like in
CS:GO, you have
like
aiming penalty while you're running.
Right. So basically, you have to stop and let your crosshair drop, and so you can pick. I would say there's less penalty when moving while shooting because you have iron sights. You should be able to shoot pretty accurately while moving. Shouldn't be that big of a deal.
And one more thing, like when you're supposed taking a site, say you have to retake Bravo, like if you're clearing the site like slowly, like if you clear every angle, in this game it takes like a lot of time. And the other approach could be you just run in and just you hope you see a guy or get lucky. So like what's like the approach like that you usually use? For example, if you have to check every angle, that would be too much. It will take too much time, especially if you're maybe crouching and not making any noise.
So I usually don't play like that. So usually what happen is another tactic we do is we'll just tell someone to start firing. So say I'm right here, okay? Say I'm on security, they're capping B, and we have a guy on balcony, right? And I'll say, okay, balcony, start shooting into B. And he'll start shooting, and his, as you hear, when you're getting shot at, you can kind of like, you hear the sounds, that's like the bullets impacting. That's going to cover your footsteps, I'm going to pop out really quick, I'm going to look here, maybe pre-fire, right there, look barrel, then come through, and after a while, you're gonna know where everyone camps. Okay, everyone usually camps right there, right here, or right here. Like that's just So it's like, why don't I don't want to take forever. Look here, boom, peek there, and then I'll run through, and then I'll probably look T1 right here. Okay, so I'm not really gonna clear that slowly, but like yes, like in apartments, you gotta play really slow, and most of the time. Like playing realistic, like it's real life, will usually hurt you more. Like if you're coming around, you're like, oh look out, I'm playing really slow. Campers have advantage. So if you're coming around here and trying to cut the pie, if he's really good at shooting, he's gonna see your left shoulder and destroy you. But if you come like right here and then you peek really quick, then you might be able to see him. So just.
Okay.
It's a tough question.
When you peek? Are you more visible when you peek from one side or the other?
Yeah, I forgot what it is. I think it's...
You with a weapon on the right side, so you should want to go from left to right.
Yeah. So...
In Counter-Strike, if you peek to your left, you're less visible.
Yeah. I forgot what it is. That's another thing. I don't really peek that much. It's just like, go. Peeking is like a very different thing. There's also another thing like point of view, right? So like where my head is versus what I'm showing. I mean, I don't believe that peeking. Like the thing is, I don't like because my leg sticks out right here. You know, that's not how I would peek. Like you peek out, just pivot your torso. You know. But I think, is it right, Kelly?
Yeah, you should stand on your
Right is
your
better.
weapon side.
Yeah.
No, left is better. If you stand on the left side, you have the weapon
In the wall.
the right. Yeah, no. Move to that side. Let's see. If you everybody look on the third person, gonna see that.
Yeah, that side's a lot better. That's
Yeah, it's a lot better. Otherwise, he's gonna have his entire body out.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Still,
what it
you
was.
can change shoulder with the weapon in this game.
Yeah, which would be awesome.
Yeah, it's armor tactics.
So.
Yeah, what if you're a lefty?
Yeah, nobody's left in this game.
They
Yeah.
killed all the lefties in the world, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gone. They're not allowed to play this game. Any more questions? I think let me just go through the callouts really quick and let's get you guys in a pug right now.
Okay, I had a question that's not really related to the game.
Go
but
ahead.
Just like what the league, because I know in like Counter Strike it's open, invite, intermediate. Is there like just division 1, 2, 3 for DLG?
So yeah, so the way
Like what's bottom tier?
DGL. So bottom tier is usually Div 4, but we're getting bigger, so we're gonna have to change it soon to like CEVO or ESEA. Right now, it's usually like Div 4 is bottom, and it's separated into groups. So it's like 6 teams in one group, 6 teams in another group, and you have a 5-week season, and then you have quick seasons, so that way new teams can come in, etc., etc.
All right.
So
Is it? So it's 5 weeks of season, you said?
yeah, so it's
Is
really
it just one match a week or
Yeah.
multiple?
one match a week, really quick. You can move up really fast. Basically, like say you're Div, and it also depends. Like if you have previous competitive, like if you have say, like right now we had a one team that played in season 1 and 2 but didn't play in 3. They're coming back as a new team. They got placed into Div 2. Just because that's just like we're not gonna put them at the bottom and then they just poop all everyone, So, but how it works is like you'll play, and if you're top in the season, you'll play in a tournament, and the top 2 will in Div 4 will play against the bottom 2 in Div 3, and the top 2 in that will move up, and the bottom 2 in that tournament will go down.
And how do you schedule like the date? Is that
It's
like
on
a set day, like Sunday or?
No, it's we usually let people schedule that themselves.
Okay.
Because everyone's schedule is so different. Like, I know that like it's more like you must play it by you have 7 days to play your game. If you're not playing it by then, and you have not come up, if there's not like a real life reason, then we're just gonna forfeit both your teams.
Okay.
But usually we're pretty accommodating. It's not a huge community, so we're just like, all right, cool. Like we want to be constructive, not destructive.
So do the teams provide their own server? Or is it all through you?
So no, like we have a couple, and people are welcome to use those as practice. But most teams have their own server as well because they get full. Sometimes we have events, and we don't guarantee that you'll have a server. We want to provide you a server, but we can't guarantee it all the time. Sometimes we have tournaments or drafts that need the servers, and you have to find servers by yourself.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. You guys want to do a pickup game?
I do.
Yeah. All right, let me just, because some people got here late, let me just do this real quick again. I'm going to run over callouts, okay? Most important are going to be right here, okay? This is tires. Tires. Okay. Above tires is apartments. Usually you'll say their side, like their apps, our apps, apartments. This is apartments. This is B. This is balcony right here. Balcony. Their balcony, our balcony. Diner. Okay, this is diner. Walk a little more. This is garage. Okay, those are super important. Those are the main ones. Then you got cubby. Cubby's super important. If you know, if you're on B and a guy dies in apartments, he's probably gonna run down and come kill you from cubby. Okay, this is cubby, super important, cubby. All right, and then we call this gay barrel. And then looking down on the objective, we've got T1, T2, T3, and then so it's T1, T2, T3, T1, T2, T3, S1, and then this is S2 and S3, but most people don't play there. Your callouts are usually going to be all the T's, T1, T2, T3, and then S1. Usually people will prone in here and block. What else was I gonna say? Their arches, our arches, and then there's hole, which is right here. So that is that. Everyone got that?
Yep.
I think so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yep. We'll learn as we go. If we
Yeah.
don't.
The first time I've heard these call-outs, so
Yeah, I won't give. I'll just focus on those. T2 is like the spot. This is like the jam. Like T2. That's if you only know one B call out, no T2. So yeah. All right. You guys can just. Let me see if I.
Can you just one last question regarding sensitivity? Like there are like 3 commands, like 3 options. Like there's a scale sensitivity, like normal sensitivity, like some other one. Like what do each one of these do?
scope, iron sights, and mouse.
And there's also like a console command, zoom sensitivity.
Let me see. Oh, I forgot. I don't really mess with those, man. Yeah, but I know that some people do. I forgot the command. Does anyone know the command where you don't zoom in when you iron sight?
I think I know what it is.
There's a command where like so when you iron sight you zoom in like 10%, 5% maybe, you know, but you can turn on.
LCL. I don't know. It's when you're aiming down your sight, you could change your frame of view.
Yeah,
I
what
set
is
it all the way to 0. That way I could get a real good view,
yeah,
which is useful for like engaging people at close range engagement.
Yeah. So it just depends on what you like. I play with default settings. I know some people mess with their config and stuff, but that's fine for me. In terms of mouse sensitivity and stuff like that, it just depends on your mouse and DPI and stuff. Mine are pretty close.
CL, aim down sight, frame of view, scale 0.0.
Okay.
That's the setting I actually had on.
What is it? What is it?
CL underscore ADS underscore
Yeah, there it
frame
is.
of view FOV underscore scale.
Yeah, if you
I set
turn that
to
on,
0.
yeah, if you turn it on, then you don't zoom in when you're aiming.
So should we turn it on or is like preference?
It's up to you.
Okay.
What
And
about
every-
Based on
FOV?
preference.
But yeah, with regards to FOV, like I use 90, like default. Is that alright or?
So it just depends. Like, you know, there's a big debate, like, on. I think generally that you should use. I think for CS players, they're usually going to play with higher sensitivity. But I think for the generic player, they should use a lower sensitivity in this game. So like, you know, a CS player will have like a 12-inch
Lower
180.
sensitivity would give you a better accuracy.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm talking about the FOV.
Unless you're not
So
using
for
a joystick.
so for FOV, I've got mine at 75, which I know makes some people throw up. But mine's set at 70.
Like,
So
I have mine at 90, which is like default. Is that alright or should I change it?
I mean, it's up to you. You know,
Okay.
I play with
Are you talking
75.
about frame of view?
Yeah. So field of view.
I set it all the way up personally to me.
Yeah. So some people like it
Like
up
a
so they can
quick
camp in
draw.
a corner. Some people camp in a corner so they can see. But I usually know where people are coming, like, are gonna come from. So it's like, okay, I want to be able to see ahead, like across the map. So I play with 75 because it's zoomed in. That way, like, I can
Okay.
see a little hand or a shoulder or a foot all the way across the map.
Okay.
So it just depends on what you want to do. You know, I don't play in full screen, you know, 1024 by whatever, but what was it 1024 by 768? Is that the? the old. But I do play with 75 FOV. And I know that drives some people crazy, but that's what I do. And it's really what works for you. I have like a 6-inch 180. Yeah, like roughly. Yeah, but you definitely want to have like mouse accel off and stuff like that. If you don't have that off, that's the most important
Enhanced
thing.
pointer position.
Yeah, exactly.
I keep having the issue where every time I like launch up Windows 10, it keeps turning on Windows Enhanced Precision. Like it can't set it default to off.
I have no idea. I have Windows 7. So.
Wait, do all of you guys have percentages?
Have what?
For what?
For like settings or everything? Like, you know how there's a scale and there's a. You guys all have percentages?
Mouse?
No, it's a number.
I don't have that.
What do you have, percentages?
I don't have anything. It's just a scale, that's it.
Well, you have a number to write. Yeah. Of
Nope.
the settings.
I don't have
You don't?
numbers.
Just take a screenshot.
Damn.
It's probably it's probably a user error. All right, so let's get this started. Let's just reload this thing. Who is here? I'll split you guys up into teams.